We figured we'd start early just to make sure all of our technology is working properly.
Just for Carlos.
But we are very much enjoying the Starlink. The consistency of the internet is kind of incredible when you've dealt with rocks and twigs internet for as long as we have, especially trying to do stuff online, and you deal with like the worst internet for 8 years, and to have something that's remotely responsive and halfway decent is rather the game changer. So I'm excited because Matt puts a lot of time and effort into everything, and we want everything to be really high quality. And then when we're just killed by our internet speed and, trying to upload stuff but so it's really awesome.
Yep. Starlink's
it's very expensive, but but it's awesome and it works. So I don't mind paying for stuff if it works, but cheap stuff that doesn't work is worthless.
And it was plug and play. Like it was pretty easy set up. Like within 10 minutes it was set up, seemed like to me.
So we'll let everybody filter on here because we started 2 minutes early, and I have the chats open in Rumble and supposedly now StreamYard will push Twitter comments, Twitter questions over as well. So I haven't seen that happen yet, but hopefully I'll see that happen. That'll be cool. And hopefully our transmission stays good. So we will get started. Well, I'll give you one more minute because we're technically supposed to start at 6 o'clock.
And hey, Carlos, thank you for being early on the show here. Sorry you're not feeling good. Hope that it passes really, really quickly for you.
Yeah, here in Ireland, our government is trying to get rid of cattle, encourage veganism while importing fakeaways who ain't vegans. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we feel your pain. It is a global movement. There's a global bowel movement.
War on meat. There's a war on meat.
There's a war on humanity.
And a war on, for real.
Southeast Texas. Howdy, neighbor.
Hey, big thicket. Agape Field.
From the northeast to the southeast, holla. Holla if you me.
Kemp W. Hi.
The Iowa Homestead.
Hey.
All right, 6 o'clock. We're going to start.
All right, let's get started.
So, I am in day 4 of an experiment. So we're 203 days carnivore, have had exponential health benefits, weight loss, better sleep, all these different things. But I have had intermittent in and out inflammation has still ramped up. Like I've had great periods of almost no inflammation. And then I've had incredible periods of terrible inflammation, like was pre-carnivore, pre-diet change and all that stuff. So I said, you know what? And we had a little bug that went through the house. And so I was kind of laying low. I'm like, here's what I'm going to do. And we're in between. We were waiting for a butcher date at our microprocessor. And we did have a small cow to send in, and we were out of meat. So I'm like, I'm going to do a double test here because we have tons. We still have plenty of ground beef. We still have plenty of our own ground beef. We have like a whole freezer full of ground beef. I'm like, I'm going to do a double test here. I want to do a red meat only diet, and I want to buy like the cheapest OG steaks from like Super One. And so I'm going to be doing 2 things. I'm going to try to just go red ruminant meat. And as it happens, I'm eating 1 meal a day as well. So it's kind of like a lion / it's a lion diet is what it is. But
you're still doing coffee?
No coffee.
Oh, you cut out
no
the
coffee, no nothing. Yeah.
So you are just having red meat, salt,
and butter. And I season with butter. I'm not ingesting any extra butter. I'm just putting butter on my steak when I make it. So
okay. And water.
And water, yeah.
Are you doing
Day
the
4.
Relay electrolytes flavored?
Yeah. Flavored Relay.
Okay. Just trying to be clear on what it is. Because, you know, it is good. I know people say like to journal it and write it down, because it's like when you're trying to track things, and we've been trying to tweak and change and play around with this carnivore diet now for 7 months. We've done lots of experimentation with lots of different things, but I think it's always good to be really clear about, because, you know, it could just be a thing of, oh, it was just the stevia and the Relight that was giving me problems. Like, I mean, sometimes the tiniest little thing, you know, or for some people it's just the butter or whatever, you know, fill in the blank, right? Or just the coffee. Oh, you know, I forgot to mention I was drinking coffee and then I took it out. So just to be real clear with what you're doing, and just basically eating once or twice a day until you're full, with steak and beef.
And just to restate it, we have both chats open. We do have the Rumble chat open if you have any questions. So 4 days ago, I started this red meat only, 1 meal a day. And today I am almost completely inflammation free. Nothing in my neck or my back, nothing in my elbow. So in 4 days, there has been a dramatic shift that I can feel that there's no inflammation in my neck at all.
And you've been sick for the last 3 days.
Yeah, and I have been sick. Yeah.
Today was the first day that you got out of the recliner in 3 days.
Well, no, I felt, you know, it felt real mild until yesterday. And then yesterday I'm like,
he didn't get sick because he was eating beef only.
No.
He was sick.
No, we've had a bug going around.
Prior.
You know, our terrain or whatever, our terrain theory's off a little bit, and it mucks with our.
That's a joke for those of you.
I'm still trying to reconcile terrain theory.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I'm a big believer in germ theory, virus theory.
I'm a big believer in there's definitely a parasitic class of people that call themselves humans.
Yeah.
And I believe that they affect all of us.
Yeah.
Or infect all of us or something like that. Yeah. But that's just my take.
We've been recording your everyday challenge.
Right.
And we're going to be putting that out. So for those of you interested in seeing more like vloggy kind of videos.
That'll be a blog.
Yeah, they're going to be coming out. And there's been a couple exceptions. You did have some turkey, some shredded turkey.
I had a little bit of turkey. I had turkey
broth.
soup last night. That was very good.
Yeah, it was just shredded turkey and broth.
Another major exception I would say is on 3 of the 4 days I had
bacon.
Maybe 5 pieces of bacon.
That's my fault. That's my fault, y'all. So I don't think we're getting a real good finger on the pulse yet.
Well, I'm getting a good enough. I mean, I'm feeling great. So, you know, all I care about is if the inflammation goes away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But our bacon is very poor quality.
Yeah. But with whether it's from my shoulder, it's the chicken egg thing. I mean, I can feel I can feel the inflammation in my neck and back, and it just, you know, it makes my neck out of line, and it makes my back out of line, and it's brutal.
And
you can't get away from it.
You're not doing any eggs.
Yeah, I'm not doing any eggs at all.
And my theory was that possibly, I don't know, but possibly the eggs were causing the inflammation, which for some people it does. And for some people, it's just the egg whites and they can have the yolks. But that's the fun thing about when you just get down to meat and eggs and butter. You can kind of really play around with, okay, what kind of meats? Okay, do I keep in the cream? Do I take out the cream?
Art Lowe on Rumble asked about the dairy. Now, so we do butter. We enter Permapasture. What's up, Billy? We reintroduced sour cream
on the cruise.
on the cruise. And then I think we were overdoing it.
Yeah. So I don't have a good moderator in my brain. So my kids started really enjoying sour cream. I enjoyed sour cream every night on my steaks for dinner on the boat when we went on the cruise. So for 8 nights, we were eating sour cream every single night. And when we got home, I was just like, oh, this would be a great addition to our diet, right? Carnivores eat sour cream, you know, but the thing is that I wasn't really moderating it well at all, which is my big downfall. And so I started buying like half-gallon buckets of sour cream. And then so my little kids started putting sour cream on breakfast, lunch, and dinner and everything because sour cream is delicious. And I wasn't having the sour cream once I got off the boat, but the kids were. And I think between that and the half and half and the ice cream that they had when they were on the boat, which has sugar in it, I think it just broke down everybody's immune system and we all ended up getting sick. So I had a pretty bad flu for a week. And it's crazy because with me, it was just the sour cream and the half and half. And I kept the half and half up until about a week ago. And then I was like, I think the half and half is like causing me trouble with like holding on to weight. So I gained 5 pounds that week of the cruise just from sour cream and half. So, I got rid of the half and half and I switched back to my coconut milk in my coffee and my hot chocolate here, which has no sweeteners in it. And the weight just fell off. So actually 6 pounds fell off. So I'm actually at my all-time lowest weight.
Impressive.
Since before we got married.
Wow.
Way before we got married.
It's like the time machine.
I think I was a pound heavier at our wedding than I am right now. So I'm pretty excited about that. But more excitingly, I'm excited that I've been challenging myself to get on the treadmill because it's cold outside. So get on the treadmill and I was trying to do it twice a day for 3 minutes. And then I did it twice a day for 5 minutes. And now I'm doing it as of today, first day ever, y'all, on the treadmill for 5 minutes, 3 times a day. And this morning was my first morning that I got on the treadmill before I had my coffee. I made myself jump on the treadmill, walk for 4 minutes, and then I run for the last minute. And that's it. I'm maxing out at 5 minutes. I don't want to do more than 5 minutes. There's a lot of research in like sprinting and short little bursts of exercise versus long, like 30 minutes of cardio. I don't want to do that. I just want to do short bursts.
That's what I want to do.
So anyway, that was just really, really exciting. And yeah, so just little things we're just tweaking and playing around with.
That's what I love about it is like you can listen to your body and you can adjust it and you don't have to visit a medical deity or anything like that, you know, and you just tweak it. And when everything is working properly, you're like, yep, it's awesome. Like this inflammation that is, you know, I could feel it building up in my neck and in my back because I've dealt with it for like 30 or 40 years. And I'm just like, this isn't right, you know, because this has went away before. And then, so I'm like, I'm going to switch it up again. And now that it's gone and it's incredible. And I promise you I'll sleep better. And Agape Field, did we grow our own turkeys? We do have a red bourbon Tom and we do have a white midget, but we have always been unsuccessful. Although I told the white midget, I said, y'all are freeloaders and I'm going to call y'all.
Miss Marshmallow. She is a sweet little turkey.
I said, I'm going to call y'all and put you in the freezer. And then Marshmallow started cranking out eggs. She's like a 1-a-day wonder.
I got like 7 turkey eggs right now sitting on my counter in the kitchen. And everybody wants to hatch the turkey eggs, but it's cold outside. And I'm like, little turkey poults are a pain in the butt. They are so stupid.
Yeah, and turkeys are brutal, y'all. Turkeys are not.
Dumb.
I know some people kind of say that they're cool and easy. They're very dumb. They die very easily. Yeah. And we just have not had success.
I know.
And And here's another update about turkey. I have always, relatively speaking, not liked turkey. And when James makes turkey, especially in that Ninja air fryer thing, it is bang on perfect every time. And it's rather incredible.
We made a 17-pound turkey. That video is coming out too, y'all. We got lots of vlog video coming out. The older boys have been really busy in their construction business every day. So I've been like vlogging it up in the house, and we did a 17-pound turkey it's a Ninja extra large pro convection oven / air fryer. And we got that one because it's all stainless steel inside and it doesn't have any of the Teflon. And you can cook massive amounts of meat.
I make a steak. You can make a perfect steak in it in 20 minutes. And I put the probe in there. I set it on my temperature, 130, 135, hit go. It's like beep, it's done. You take it out and it's perfect. And like my challenge with steaks and meat has always been like, I don't know how these people make these steaks like this.
Right.
Granted, I know it's the cut, it has a lot to do with it, but I'm like, I don't know how these people make these perfect steaks. And I've just always been terrible at it. Well, now I'm like, not Guy Fieri, who would be I'm like one of those guys that are actually good at cooking stuff. But
that's awesome.
So Billy wants to know,
like Cowboy Kent Rollins.
Yeah, I'm like Cowboy Kent Rollins
with the air fryer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Technology. Besides carnivore, are you doing other biohacking methods? Yes, we do grounding. I very much enjoy grounding.
Not every day. I don't do it.
I do.
I mean, I do it by accident because I'm like outside taking the puppies out to go potty, and sometimes I don't put my shoes on.
Yeah, Texas mom has Faith has the feet for grounding. I'm the tenderfoot, so I'm trying to build up my my soft feet. But yeah, I ground pretty much every day, and it's great because even if it's cold outside, I can walk out to the greenhouse, and then it's like 80 or 90 degrees in there. So I just don't wear my shoes outside.
Yeah.
And I get my grounding in. And then I do have a grounding sheet that I got a while ago from grounding.com. I've been using that. I'm not sure if it's grounding properly. I have to check that out.
To test it. Sometimes I do grounding too when I run out back to get some firewood. And it's easier to wash off my feet than it is to put on shoes and then get shoes all dirty and then have to clean off shoes or leave them on the back deck. So I'm just like, I'll just run out there like that. So sometimes it's been frosty even in the mornings. But anyway.
Agape gets their raw milk from Timpson.
Oh, okay.
From, do you know the Yoders? Well, they're all named Yoder. But
yeah. There's
Yoder,
a big, not big.
I met
a small Mennonite.
Yeah. I met an awesome guy named Brian Yoder from Timpson. He's awesome.
So yeah, we're dairy free except for the butter. We allowed dairy back in and we all got sick, which is kind of always the theme of dairy in our life with our kids. When I say sick, like I had 4 of my kids at the doctors this week, check in to make sure that they weren't like developing pneumonia or anything because of the lingering cough forever. And they weren't. Everybody had a clear chest. Everybody was fine except for Big Tex had an ear infection, which always happens again
from the dairy.
With the dairy.
Yeah.
When we just allow too much of, the ice cream, the sour cream became an issue. We haven't done cream cheese or anything like that. We allow the sour cream. We allow ice cream on birthdays or for like a special thing, like maybe if our church is having a lunch or something, and we always bring ice cream and let our kids have the ice cream. But anyway, that's just like a kid thing. That's not like a us thing. We're not sitting around eating ice cream. We don't need that. So, the dairy is it's an extra expense. You don't need it. And here's my tip for the dairy. This is what's worked for us so far the last 7 months with it is to, rather than tell yourself, I have to give up dairy, just say, I'm going to allow myself to eat dairy on Sundays, right? Or if it has to be 2 days and then you wean yourself down to 1 day, but we've allowed it on Sunday is our dairy day, meaning that if we're having hamburgers, we might stop. Not every Sunday we have dairy, but if we're going to have dairy, it's designated to Sunday, and we might be able to like pick up some cheese from the grocery store on the way home, put some cheese on the burgers, and it's a special treat. Or like I said, if we're having a fellowship meal, it might mean that my kids could have a little bit of ice cream, 1 serving of ice cream. That's pretty much it. That's what our dairy is limited to. Some of my people still enjoy half and half in their coffee. That just kind of came back into our life, and we found good half and half that's just cream and milk.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, because I don't know if y'all have looked at it, half and half or even heavy cream lately.
Like monoglycerides.
You cannot find it. And Clover, whatever. Yeah, it's whole milk and cream,
right?
And that's it.
That's
fascinating.
We found 2. Horizon makes one, and then this Clover Fields. I think Clover Fields is Aldi. I'm not sure.
It's like when you look at ice cream ingredients and there's soybean oil in it. And they're like, what the dude? They're just trying to kill us. There's nothing.
Bad.
Why would you put soybean oil in ice cream?
I told him he should make a short of that. The soybean oil in ice cream.
The seed oils, dude, they're just trying to kill us.
I was choosing an ice cream that was like lower ingredients, and it was still atrocious. Just so bad. But what we have allowed back for the kids, which we never really took it away, was frozen berries. So they have frozen mixed berries, and then they have frozen blueberries. It's raspberry, strawberry, blackberry, blueberry mix, and Ninja Creamy, y'all. If you have kids and you're trying to do this carnivore thing or keto or low carb or whatever, the Ninja smoothie is awesome. So you can just pour your frozen berries in there in your cups, in your pint cups, and then pour in some half and half, or if you're doing heavy cream, we just do a little tiny bit of half and half to make it creamy. And then I do the rest coconut milk, and which is like less than a carb, less than a gram of sugar, no sugar in it at all, no added sugar. And then just put them in the freezer, and you have like, it's kind of like a sorbet. Is that the right word?
Sure.
Like it's just fruit with a little bit of cream mixed up.
And seed oils are literally satanic. And me and Matt did a live stream about seed oils, and I remembered the stat. It was Crisco. So for those of you that don't know, Crisco was originally a artillery lubricant used for tanks. Now it was World War I or World War II. I think it was World War I. And then once the war was over, they rebranded it as a shortening. Crisco is a tank lubricant, y'all. So keep eating it, and you want to know why you look like a tank.
Yeah.
It's because you got a bunch of Crisco. You want to know why you feel like a tank? It's because you got a bunch of Crisco in your
Yeah. And I just think that it's really helpful to put boundaries and parameters around things, like saying like, okay, we can, if we're going to have sour cream, we'll have sour cream once a month. Say it's going to be the last Sunday of the month. We're going to have sour cream on something, and it'll be a special treat, right? Rather than like, okay, I allow sour cream, then I'm going to eat sour cream 3 nights a week. Like that's crazy, right? So that's kind of how it got with me with the half and half. Was like, as soon as I reintroduced that little bit of sugar back into my coffee, I was like wanting to sip on coffee all day long, because my body is just like, oh, that's how I get the sugar? Well, let's have it. And it wasn't the caffeine, because I went to decaf coffee now. It was the cream. Like I wanted that sugar in that liquid dairy. So for me, I just have to say no to it, because it just gets out of hand, and it just, I don't know.
Yeah,
helping.
We have been programmed. Okay, so if you haven't seen our recent multi-stream with the Pimp Daddy himself, Billy Bond, it is our previous live stream, Island of Misfit Toys. So check that out, because it really speaks to a lot of the reprogramming and the programming and the propaganda and the whole Bernaysian reconstruction of postmodernism. And this all started, with the Frankfurt School and, postmodernism and the search for the historical Jesus, the search for the original autographs, the autographa and the optographa and all this stuff, right? And they just try to sound smart. And this is how they deconstructed Western civilization. They deconstructed logic, ration, and reason, the trivium, the quadrivium, and all these different things. And they completely rebuilt modern thought, and they rewrote history. And during that whole process, you have to reconstruct and deconstruct and mechanize and modernize the food system as well. And synergistically, it just so happens that if we do that, it poisons all of us. And by poisoning us, we become docile and stupid, and we have brain fog, and we're easily manipulated. So it all goes hand in hand. Mm-hmm. And that's, that's a little bit of what we were talking about on the stream with Billy, but our culture is around food, and there's nothing wrong with that. The culture has always been around, you eat to stay alive.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
But they've made our food addictive, so that we're shackled by it. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting how the scripture says that their table will become a snare, mm-hmm. When you think about the way that, and then if you consider Samuel Morris, right, after they got hit with all those big cancer settlements, Samuel Morris started buying up all the big food companies, and they took their cancer stick scientists and they said, how you've been making these cancer sticks? And they were putting sugar in cigarettes back then. They were putting mm-hmm. sugar in cigarettes. And they took all those same scientists, all that study, and they started putting it into big food. They put it into the potato chips. They put it into the Pringles. They put it into the Snickers bar.
Sure.
And all this stuff has become crack.
Same companies. Yep.
And this is the Christian crack. So if you're a Bible believing Christian, this is like, these are all the socially acceptable things to gorge yourself in. Mm-hmm. And, and not only that, it's like part of the process. Not only are you allowed to, but it's like part of the fellowship.
Well, it's so, you can't take food out of culture. Food is part of a people's culture, right? Is food, right? So it's very, very difficult when you're eating so much different. And it's not so much different. I mean, y'all, we have meat. I mean, in our culture, people eat meat still, right? So it's not like, oh, you're eating, I don't know, like something that, moon rocks or something. Like, it's not like that. But so it's like, but you've eliminated everything else. And I'll tell you what, this year, and you can tell, this talked about it, but this year, TD usually has off several days between Christmas Eve and New Year's Day. He usually has that whole stint off. So we're home. And although our family hasn't celebrated Christmas in many, many years now, we would still be home. So we would still bake, even when we were gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free. Through all the phases, we figured out ways around, doing things, baking, making our time here at home special when it was like daddy's home time at the end of the year. And I had no problem when we were on the cruise boat looking at all those desserts and being like, nope, I already made my mind up. I'm good. Don't need it. No big deal. It was just, my mind was made up. But I'll tell you what, it wore on me the first 2 days of you being home this year. And it was like, we had no pressure. I mean, we have no family down here. So we don't have like family obligations. We don't have like food events or anything like that.
No, but there's the nostalgia of it. You know what I mean?
But yeah, and we don't have Christmas pressure to like make Christmas cookies or anything like that. But it was just, this is the time of year. This is when we chill and we have tons of pies on the table, and we have tons of cookies,
We graze.
and we have tons of good food, which we always have, like turkey and ham and meat and things like that too. But it was like all of the comfort foods, all of those things were like, man, I was feeling it. Mentally, I said it like several months back with Carnivore. I said, it's a mental game. A lot of it is a mental game until you conquer it. And I don't know that for everybody at every moment you've totally conquered it, because we do still live in this world.
Well, that's why I think it's so effective, because what it does is once you cleanse your system of the seed oils and the sugar, you have the clarity, one to recognize it, and then two, to conquer it.
Right.
And hey, all the glory goes to God. It's, we move and breathe and have our being because of him. But I'll tell you what, there's an inordinate amount of Christians that are straight up crack addicted to food and cannot break
absolutely
the cycle. And, and they'll bang on the drunk guy, and they'll bang on the pot smoker, and they'll bang on the cokehead and all this stuff, but they can't stop bending their elbow.
Well, there's this one woman, I can't remember her name, but Bella from the Steak and Butter Girl channel. She just posted this video today. It's really cool. It's like a montage of all these different carnivore doctors and carnivore people. But the one woman doctor, she's a little older, I can't remember her name, but she was saying that specific foods are more addictive than cigarettes. So it's just like telling yourself, I would have one cigarette a day. You can't just tell yourself, well, I'd have one brownie and then I'm going to be good. I'm going to be fine. You're probably not. You're probably going to have one brownie, or if you're like me, then you're going to have a second brownie, and then lunchtime's going to come around and you're going to have to fight with yourself all day long, because a lot of those foods are just, they're like cigarettes. They're more addictive. They're worse for our health than cigarettes. And she said, until we start looking at foods, these, monster foods that they've created, Frankenfoods like that, we have to look at them like that, because that's literally what they are designed to be. And they're worse for our health than smoking habit. So, but I was also thinking, we've done a lot of talking about, them spraying us, right? Because they're always spraying constantly. At least here in Texas, we've noticed it in the past 10 years. And we're just thinking a lot and talking a lot about the connection between what we eat, if we're growing stuff outside.
Yeah, why is this healthy stuff not healthy for us anymore? Right. Besides the depleted soil, besides that the soils have just been totally stripped and mined of their nutrients.
And the soils are getting bombed with chemicals every single day. That all that spray that's up in the sky is falling down onto our soil, and it's in the soil, it's in the water, it's falling into the water, it's in the rain, it's in the air. And then this is my theory, the plants are sick. That's my theory, that the plants are sick from these chemicals that are being sprayed.
And they have to be. The statistics and the data is there. And for those of you that want to think that chemtrails are all hoaxy, I mean, the news did a report on it right here in Shreveport and Arkansas, and they did the test of the heavy metals, the barium, the strontium, and all this stuff, man. And it was there, and it was like 1,000 times higher than what was, permitted by law and all these different things. And where did it come from? And it was there.
Yeah. It's in our pond. It's in our soil. It's in our air. It's in the water that you're collecting. So to fake yourself out, I mean, because we're like, how can just removing string beans and, some grains or something like so how, like these organic things that supposedly were good for us, how is this horribly bad for us? And I just think that a large part of it has to do with all the pollution and the pollution and the chemicals that they're spraying on us every day, you know? And I think that the ruminant animals were designed to filter that stuff. They have livers and they have stomachs and they can filter all of that junk.
Do you feel that carnivore has improved your hormones?
100%. Yeah. So I'm not menopausal yet, but I'm probably like perimenopausal. So after I had my last baby at 41, I started like having my really big issues with my cycle where I would be like getting my cycle a couple months of the week and a couple weeks of the month. And then I'd finally have it for a week. And then it would be like over a week I'd have it. And like 3/4 of my month since having my last child, who is 5 years old now, but since having him, like 3/4 of my month was either me getting my cycle or having a super heavy cycle for really, really long, or just trying to get over it. And once I went carnivore, it was just like night and day. Like I get it. There's no like getting it. And like all of this like drama before getting it. Like it's just, I get it. I have it. It's over. It's done. I mean, my skin has never been better. This is the first vacation that we've ever went on ever in our married life when I could go on vacation and not have to just like smother foundation on my face just to have family pictures, or like going to the beach. That always bothered me. Like we would go to the beach on vacation and I'd have to put foundation and makeup on my face to go to the beach, because I'm like, I know we're going to take pictures because we're making memories and I don't want my skin to look horrible. But then I got all this makeup on my face and I'm at the beach. I don't want to have makeup on my face at the beach, you know, and it would just bother me so bad. But my skin was always in such poor condition. And I don't have any of that. I don't have any mouth sores anymore. I suffered monthly with huge sores in my mouth. I mean, to the point, like several sores in my mouth at a time, to the point that like it was really painful to talk. I don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
I had acne on my back after I had my last baby. I never had acne on my back, even as a teenager, but I had it on my back and it hurt. And that all went away. I would say my hormones are 100%
I will
better.
say that her hormones are 100% better. Divine, I wanted to know, can you do carnivore and intermittent fasting together? Yes, that's one. It's usually called OMAD, or 1 meal a day. But that's what I do. I usually eat between 3 and 5.
Yeah.
So I eat 1 meal a day and I don't eat the rest of the time usually.
Yeah. You'll probably just naturally, I think most carnivores kind of go into a natural intermittent fasting type of state, just because you're eating to satiety. And usually most carnivores or keto, low carb people will eat like once or twice a day, and then that's it. So that kind of puts you in a natural state of, you know, you might go 14 hours, you might go 16 hours. I don't think that it's anything that you need to force. And I think in the beginning, it's important to not do any of that. Just eat when you're hungry and eat until you're full. And if that means you eat 5 times a day, eat 5 times a day, but eat until you're full. That natural fasting state will come as your body heals and you start to learn when you're hungry and how hungry you are. And then you eat and then you're done. Like today, we didn't eat until almost 3:30.
4 o'clock. Right?
4 o'clock. Yeah, it was late.
Yeah, and I wasn't even hungry. Usually I put my steak on. Like I've been eating at like 3, and then I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm gonna do another video out in the greenhouse. I got some cool stuff today. So I saw something on David the Good's channel, and I'm kind of excited about it. So I don't want to blow the secret.
Yeah. So anyway, but we wanted to, I did want to share that with everybody. Like the no Christmas thing was maybe a challenge, like the first year mentally, like not doing Christmas. But
you want to talk about not doing Christmas?
No, but I'm just saying no carbs is way harder than no Christmas.
Oh, sure.
Just throwing that out there to y'all.
Sure.
No carbs this time of year is
no Christmas has always been
way harder than no. And mentally, because it was just like, but this is like what we usually do. So then now what do we do? Like now, like, how do we make this time of year special if there's no food? And it was funny because when we were on the boat, it was really, really neat to me that we could have dinner and it could be really special. And the whole vacation could be really, really special without dessert and like without all those carbs because, and without that like bloated, big feeling like, wow, this is really cool. So
that did require 3 or 4 servings of like the most incredible meat you've ever eaten in your life. Though.
That was really good. That was super
did
special.
Help. That does help the cause.
Yeah. So that was neat. I don't know. And I guess it's just this was our first year not doing carbs around this time of year. So even though we don't do Christmas, it was still like, it was hard. I'm going to say just for me. I mean, I shared it with my older boys and they were like, Mom, you're ridiculous. Like, we're fine. We just went on vacation. We had desserts on vacation, you know,
howdy, Brandy.
We're good, you know, but anyway, I don't know. It's just a mom thing, I guess. It was just, there's a lot of emotion.
I'm like, eat a steak, lady.
Tied to it.
Get over it.
An expectation like, oh, am I doing the right thing? I don't know. It was just, it was weird, but I got over it and the Lord helped me because, you know, he reminded me, I feel like it was the Lord that reminded me that, yeah, there's all these memories and there's all this emotion tied around all of this junk food, right? And gorging that happens this time of year and all that kind of stuff. But look at the end result of those things. Like, look at those people, look at those family members, look how they died. Look at the end of that. How did that end?
True.
And is that what you want? And I want something better for our family. I want, you know, Lord willing, you know, our children are all become adults and they make their own decisions, but Lord willing, I don't want that end for those, you know, kids. I want them to have a better end of life, you know, Lord willing. I mean, God's in control, but all of our suffering and pain and disease that we've seen at the end of life has all been directly tied to food.
Yeah.
So it's not easy, but it's totally worth it. And there's more special things. Okay. I've been reading to the kids every night. We've had lots of good conversations. We've had good times just to hang out and watch.
Nothing tastes as good as feeling healthy feels.
Yeah. And I got on the treadmill. It's going to be 3 times. I got one more 5-minute session to do tonight. Just 5 minutes. That's been really good. And we got a sweet little puppy to love. So that's been really fun. Dear. Oh, dear.
Yes, I am that great of a human being.
Yes, he's that good of a husband.
You're welcome.
Yeah. We have Kitty. And Kitty's this is our new puppy, Kitty, for those of you who don't know. And she is a Maltipoo and Yorkie mix. And
Nugget's sitting on the floor, and Nugget does not like Kitty.
Nugget does not like Kitty.
Nugget and Kitty do not get along. Well, Kitty loves Nugget, but Nugget despises Kitty. Yeah.
Nugget doesn't really. She hasn't bit her or anything, but she just growls at her and she's not happy about Kitty. Oh. But once in a while, she's like, why are you talking about me? Once in a while, she's played with Kitty. It might take several months for her to come
several
around.
Years.
And Kitty's got lots of
Nugget
energy.
Is very old for her age. She's like a crotchety old lady.
Yes, she is.
She's been abused by little children, though. They just like pester her to no end. She's a pretty good sport.
So
except when it comes to Kitty.
So Miss Kitty is in our videos too. So you'll see her
good.
in the videos. I'm like on the wrong side. Boop, there we go. She fell back asleep. She's so sweet.
All right. Any other questions? Let's see.
Sweet.
Did I miss a question? Somebody was, Shelly said that Dr. Boz suggested that older women eat early and stop eating early, like eat by 6 a.m. Yeah, you should eat by 6 a.m., Faith. She would be eating in her sleep.
I like my sleep, guys.
And stop eating as early as 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that you can kind of just eat intuitively. You eat when you're hungry.
I think so, yeah.
And you don't eat when you're not hungry.
You know, once you're not addicted to carbs, like that's the best way to do it. Like,
yeah.
I'm not eating. I'm not hungry. I'm not going to eat anything. And I'll eat when I'm hungry.
There's some, I mean, today it was like 3:30 before I was making my beef sausages. But there's mornings that I get up and I have to make food for the little kids anyway. My older kids don't eat until they get hungry, which is usually afternoon or later. But my little kids, I make them sausage or beef and eggs like every single morning. So if there's a morning that those scrambled eggs look really good to me, I eat some.
And actually, that is why I was grabbing the bacon, because I wasn't real hungry, but I'm like, you know what? I know for an absolute fact, like if I eat 3 or 4 pieces of bacon right now, I'm not going to be hungry till 5 o'clock. Like if I don't, I might be hungry at like 2 or 3.
That's true.
But if I just eat like 3 or 4 pieces of bacon right now, and it's never 3 or 4, because like for some strange reason, the kids always put a bunch of bacon on their plate and then they never eat it. So then I eat theirs too. So I usually end up eating like 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 or something like that. But I know that if I do that, say around 10 or 11, like, yeah, I'm good. I'll be good till 5, you know?
Yeah. So just do what works. And it's going to change. What you're doing now that's working now might change a week from now or 3 months from now. So just always keeping it in your mind flexible that you can change it up. I mean, there's some women that need to eat 3 times a day. Like Kelly Hogan says, I eat 3 times a day. That keeps me feeling good, energized. I don't think the girl has like a shred of fat on her body. Super strong, super athletic woman. And she's like in her 40s. So, and then there's, you know, other people that eat twice a day or maybe once a day. It depends on your age, your activity level.
Yeah, everybody's different. That's the beauty of it. Everybody's a little bit different. Some people are sensitive to some things, some people aren't. And everybody's has stuff that works for them, and they're just going to be different. Yeah.
I mean, if you're in your 20s and you're chasing around toddlers and you're pregnant, you're going to probably require more food more frequently than me at 45 sitting on the couch, you know, with a puppy and a cup of decaf
Get to work,
coffee.
woman. You're sitting on the couch holding a puppy. Boy, you live the life.
I do live the life.
You're a kept woman.
I am a kept woman. Problems. I know questions. I know everything you need to know about carnivore diet.
I just said Dr. Berry and Shafee.
Yes.
For carnivore questions.
And if anybody, like I said, that video that Bella just put out, the steak and butter gal, it's her latest video. It's a really cool, just like a montage. It's just like all the different clips from the different doctors and different people that are very popular in the carnivore movement. It's really cool to just kind of get a taste of everybody's personality, and then you can kind of pick who you like. I mean, there's lots of carnivore keto doctors that I've never even listened to yet. So everybody has their different people that resonate with them.
Yeah, I like Baker a lot. And I like Baker. He's not hyperbolic. You know, he's like, hey, this is a therapeutic way of eating. I don't say that everybody should eat like this. He's like, I'm not saying that I'll eat like this forever, but he's been doing it for like 8 or 9 years now. And, you know, he's a beast. All do you feel more spiritually in tune? I mean, most people don't do well because they don't feel well. And of course, when you feel well, yeah, you're going to participate. You know, when you don't feel well, you're not going to participate.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say yes, in the sense of when you feel better, when you sleep better, you're obviously going to feel like reading your Bible and praying, and God puts stuff in your life he puts trials and tribulations in your life to get you to pray as well. But yeah, I would, as far as mental fog and clarity and all that stuff, obviously, yeah, when you feel better and your brain and body are working, yeah, I would say, yeah, just because you're more aware,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think when food's not running your whole mindset, when you're not just thinking about food all day long, it does create a lot of space for you to think about other things and pray and think about other people and pray for them and just put more time in the word and study all of that. It does free up a lot of headspace, I think. And, and I think physically, when you're only digesting, like you're having a mono meal, basically, like you're having steak with a slab of butter on it and some salt, but like you're having basically a one ingredient meal. That is so much less impact on your body. Like that's so much less stress for your body to go through to digest that and break that down and use that than it is if you had a plate of, say, steak, mashed potatoes, green beans, a salad, and a dessert, right? That's going to require a lot more energy for your body to process all of that stuff than a mono meal, right? So when we just go down to like even beef, butter, and eggs, three is better than having 5 things on your plate for your body to digest.
You want to answer the question?
Okay, so do I experience cravings at times of the month? If so, how do you deal with it? I don't really have much carb cravings anymore. I did go through a period like, I don't know when it was, maybe like 4 months ago, maybe 5, I don't know, 5 months ago, where I had like intense carb cravings at night. It would be at night only when I was trying to go to sleep, and my stomach would just hurt like hunger pains. And I would lay there and think about like things that I really wanted to eat.
Like ice cream?
Yeah, no, I don't know. It was just like weird. Like, no, just carbs, like any kind of carb. It wouldn't be like brownies or something. It would just be like, I just wanted other types of food and my stomach just hurt, but it was short lived. And I can tell you what stopped that was I did, I go back and see the time frame now that I'm saying it, but I did a 4-day fast. And when I did that 4-day fast, I think it like reset my body to like know what real hunger is and stop all the nonsense. I don't know. I'm just saying that I did deal with that. And then I was like, well, we'll see if that nonsense goes away when I do the fast. And I did a 4-day fast and that all went away. But I don't really deal with cravings too much at all. A friend of mine who is carnivore, she just eats frozen blueberries, like a handful or half a cup of frozen blueberries, that time of the month, or if she's having a really stressful day, she'll just eat them at night. I don't really crave the sugar. I don't really crave the sugar much at all, but I can say that my one thing that I was doing all this time that got me through, first of all, the frozen blueberries got me through in the evenings for the first couple months. But then little by little, I cut out the frozen blueberries and I just didn't want them anymore. And then I did Dr. Kiltz's ice cream, which is majorly like eggs. Like I put lots of eggs in it and some type of cream. I do coconut cream and I did a little bit of vanilla in it before. But I would have that like on Sunday evenings, once a week. That was my thing. I would have my ice cream, and that was like my pat on the back for like, good job getting through the week. Right. But now, since it's been about 2 months, I guess, since we went on the cruise, hand me that wrapper. On Sunday nights, I have a new
your wrapper.
Yeah, my wrapper. So
I'll hand you your wrapper.
This was my Sunday night treat. Now are these little, I'm so horrible.
No, they're good.
IQ.
That's my wrapper.
IQ bar. They're kind of pricey, but they're less than 1 gram of sugar. They are not carnivore, but they are less than 1 gram of sugar.
They're keto or whatever, but they're pretty clean ingredients. 3
net carbs. They're whole ingredient. And really, honestly, if you're not eating any carbs, this tastes like a brownie. This tastes like a chocolate brownie. They're so good. So they're pricey. Really it's my one thing once a week, Sunday night. It's just that, like I said,
if I was eating I was eating like we used to eat, and I would eat that thing, I'd be like, it
tastes like cardboard,
garbage.
Right. But now you eat it, and especially if you have it with a cup of hot chocolate, no sweetener, y'all, or decaf coffee. I mean, it tastes like, wow, this tastes like a brownie. So, just giving yourself those little perks.
Yeah, it has to be sustainable. You have to set it up for you so that it is sustainable. Whatever that's going to mean. So if you're going to tweak it and manipulate it and cheat or whatever, and you'll pay the piper when you cheat. So it's all part of how optimal do you want to feel, and how soon do you want to feel better. And that's why I wanted to try this red meat only, and it's just it has been like a total reset, and it feels great.
Yeah. And I know there's a lot of guys like Baker, Carrie from Homestead How, Adam from Carnivore Today. There's like so many guys, Chafee, that do just, once every 24 hours, they eat a massive meal of steak and with butter or salt or whatever. And then that's it. That's what they eat. And it works really, really well for them. So I'm excited to see. Is this going to be like a 30-day challenge?
I don't know. I'm feeling really good, and I would really like to get back into very high intensive exercise. And I think the only way I'm going to do it is to just be extreme with my diet. And this might be it. This might be it forever. I hate cutting out the eggs because it was a great way for me to load the protein. And for a while there, it wasn't giving me any inflammation. So it might just be like a dial it up, dial it back kind of thing. I do hope that I can add the eggs back in, just because I can just force in so much protein. And, and other than the inflammation, I felt great. I felt really good. So I'm just going to keep.
But you could do like beef jerky sticks, or there might be other ways to increase or just
most of that stuff isn't clean though.
Yeah. Or just eat more meat.
Yeah. Just eat 2 steaks a day or something.
Yeah. Increase it.
Yeah. Narrowing your diet might be causing issues with eggs.
No, I think it just helps you to figure out what it is.
Yeah, I don't think that narrowing my diet would make me allergic to eggs.
Yeah. I think there's some people that say like, oh, it makes you hypersensitive to certain foods.
That doesn't even logically make any sense. Like your body's going to respond to the food.
Yeah.
Regardless,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I ate all that good stuff the way you're supposed to do and all that stuff, and I felt like trash.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've had the most success eating this way. So
yeah. And the funny thing is that you noticed it the first 3 days we were on the cruise, that you weren't putting the eggs in your coffee because we were on a cruise boat, and you were like, wow, like all my inflammation, like I just feel better and better. It's like all going away out of my neck and stuff.
Yeah. And that's what made me to think of trying just on red meat. Cause I was like, I don't understand why just like all of this stress or inflammation is going out of my neck and my back. And I mean, I was eating like 3 steaks a night, and that's why, because I wasn't really eating anything else the rest of the day. I'd have some bacon and sausage in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah. Some of our people like pepper, Barbara, but
I do not like pepper.
My husband's never liked pepper.
I love salt.
He likes salt. He doesn't like pepper.
I love the Redmond salt or pink salt.
I used to love pepper on my stuff, but I just do salt on mine now.
I used to like pepper more. I dislike it now.
But more. I do love our sausages. I do love our beef sausages, and that definitely has pepper in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And it has sugar in it too. So, I mean, it's not a perfect sausage recipe. So, whatever. Yeah. Thyme and garlic. Yeah. We have some mixes out there that the kids have. And one is a garlic, I think garlic, salt and pepper, or something like that. And one is a lemon pepper that they just got. And they love, they love it. They have different seasonings that they like that doesn't bother them. I have nutmeg. I just been putting nutmeg in my hot chocolate. And my hot chocolate is just cacao powder and just raw cacao powder and hot water. And I pour in a little bit of coconut milk, which is unsweetened. It's less than a gram of sugar and less than a carb. So for like a third of a cup, I don't drink a third of a cup.
What would I get out of wheat berries? Benjamin is so concerned that I eat wheat berries and einkorn. It's bizarre. It's like a fixation or something.
Oh,
He's
really?
He's very concerned that I'm not eating wheat berries and einkorn, and I'm losing essential nutrients.
That's okay. We're doing good. We're doing good.
And it is
Don't
okay.
worry about it. Yeah.
And if it's working for you, man.
Yeah. I mean, if it's making you feel great.
Crank it out, dude.
Yeah. I mean.
Wheat berries and einkorn for everybody.
I have a carnivore friend, and they just once a week, they make 1 loaf of sourdough bread, and her and her husband enjoy that, and they eat that. I'm not making sourdough bread.
Oh, I love
if I did that, I would. First of all, I'd have to make 8 loaves.
And then what would happen is, I'd put
one.
so much butter on it, and that's how I would justify it.
It would be like candy. It would be like
bread this
candy.
Is my butter delivery system.
No, none of us can moderate.
I can sting and destroy some sourdough bread.
We cannot moderate bread. I'm like, I don't even want to be in the kitchen to smell that, because that'll just be like,
but the fermentation process.
Yeah. Some people will be. Some people are good moderators.
Beer's good for you too. Yeah, beer's great for you. Yeah. I love the excuses people come up with. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I think some people can moderate better than other people. I don't know, but I just know we cannot. Like when I made bread, I was making bread every single morning. Like that's just how I get into. I did the same thing with pork rinds, y'all. And I did the same thing with sour cream just recently. Like, oh, these pork rinds are great. Let me go buy 8 bags of pork rinds and let's just have pork rinds. Like I was buying them like constant. And the older kids were getting on me. They're like, Mom, stop with the pork rinds. Like it's not good. It's funny when your teenagers and young adults are like correcting you for your like bad food choices.
Bad mommy.
I had to like cut myself off of the pork rinds, because then it was like all I wanted to think about was like, oh, I just can't wait to go to the store and get a bag of pork rinds. And then I eat the whole bag too. Like I can't just eat like a little bit.
So extreme.
I just have to
woman.
Pick and pick and pick and then be like, oh, the bag's almost gone. Let me just finish it up. It would be like potato chips, right?
Oh man.
I mean,
potato chips are kryptonite.
Yeah, it's just not.
Even if they're in all those healthy oils.
So what I'd have to do is, if I wanted to enjoy pork rinds, I'd have to just designate like a day. Like, okay, once a month, I'm going to treat myself and have a bag of pork rinds. And then that's going to be it. Like I can't eat pork rinds until I'm like, toppled over in stomach pain from eating like a dummy of pork rinds, because I would do that. I would like make myself sick. It would hurt so bad. My stomach would be in knots because it's not good. But yeah, that's why we just do good to limit it. It's not as fun and exciting, but feeling good is fun and exciting. And waking up and having energy is fun and exciting. And feeling good in your own skin is fun and exciting. And jumping on the treadmill 3 times a day, tonight would be the 3rd time, is exciting. And doing push-ups and not having arm pain.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just lots of things that are way better than eating junk
any
food.
type of bread. Yeah.
Right. Or bread all day long.
Yeah.
Because it would be all day long. Or it would be until it was gone. Like the whole loaf.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, we've been on here for an hour, so we're going to stop jaw jacking.
Yep.
Any last questions on this Ask Me Anything? Any last questions? Put them in all capital letters. We will be signing off.
Yeah. I mean, I think the cool thing is that when you're eating meat and eggs and butter, I guess, if you want to add in, it's just so simple. It just simplifies everything so much, and the kids are still having their frozen fruit, but it's just everything is so simplified and it's not required. All of our nutritional needs are being met. We are supplementing with vitamin D when we're sick, and iodine. Oh, somebody said iodine.
Now, I take Brownstein's protocol, which is a lot. And I'm taking selenium with it. So Lugol's is 2 micrograms.
Mine's 2%.
Yeah. So Faith takes Lugol's, which is 2%. Mine is 25%.
Right. But you take yours with selenium and he's on a different protocol.
Yeah.
He's
Brownstein. Yeah.
A Brownstein protocol. But the Lord did heal his thyroid.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, we have blood work done every year. And 2 years ago, when we had all of our blood work done and we always have him run all the thyroid tests, his thyroid came back totally normal. And
Faith is hypersensitive to iodine. And so when she originally took iodine, she'd have a severe reaction, but now she no longer has a severe reaction.
No, I just started with 1 drop of the Lugol's 2%, and then I worked myself up to 2 drops, and now I'm up to 5 drops. I'm following Dr. Bright's protocol roughly. And so I'm at the max that I want to be at. So the 5 drops, and because she recommends 5% Lugol's, 2 drops for some women. It just depends on your age and thyroid condition and all that. But so I just have my 5 drops in my coffee every morning, and it's been great.
Peace, Ben. Peace to you, brother.
It's been great. It's Ben from Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you asked me about those Osterks. I do have more there. You can buy them on the website if you would like them. No pressure. Agape said they have a rebounder, the mini trampoline. That was a big trendy thing for your lymphatic system. I would say, yeah, anything that makes you move. It's kind of cool because it's small. Doesn't take up a lot of room. So
yeah,
I would say, yeah, do it. Get moving.
Yep. Anything that you can do. And even if it's just for a minute or 2 minutes, I mean, just taking little breaks, making it easy. It all adds up.
Yeah, I want to just do crazy psycho heavy weights, but with my shoulder, like it's going to have to be like lower body stuff. I think like maybe like a weight sled and just more leg stuff. And I'm going to have to just give up on the notion that I'm going to be doing any kind of cool like presses or anything anymore, or any kind of rows, or just because the shoulder's not going to, oh, where did you got All-Star cuttings? That's cool. I haven't been able to find them, but, yeah, I'm just, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I will have some supernatural,
Well,
whatever that'll,
I think,
I mean, right now what I'm experiencing is relatively supernatural in the fact
Yeah.
that I can function.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can function and you're not in pain.
Ben, was his price comparable to mine? As far, or was it more? Probably more. I think my pricing is very competitive.
So
but I like to keep my pricing in check.
Always Loyal says, now my stomach problems went away. 16, almost died from it. Doctor said I can't eat anything with fats. Now, do you have to supplement with ox bile? I'm curious about that. I know Dr. Berry talks about people that had their gallbladder removed. And Dr. Chafee talks about it too. I think that sometimes you have to supplement with ox bile for a little while in the beginning until your body kind of makes like a pseudo gallbladder, and then it can adapt to the fat. So I was just curious about that, but that's great. Always Loyal. I see you have some comments in here. So all your stomach issues are gone now, eating fatty foods. That's great. That's so great. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about growing berries this spring because the kids go through quite a bit of blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, and all of those are really low glycemic.
I'm really, I love my figs and my mulberries, and it's gonna be great. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's really mild winter, so I don't know. We could get super crushed. So we'll see. But I'm kind of excited. Everything's going great in the greenhouse, and I just put these heat sinks in there. And if I can keep the stuff in the greenhouse, I think David the Good is going to save my bacon. And I think these black barrels, not only, this is how awesome it is. So David the Good said, I got these barrels and I spray painted them black and I filled them with water. So I found this guy that had the plastic barrels, and it was like from a car wash. So it's just soap in the barrels, which I'm not using them for potable water or anything. And I get there and I'm like, you got black barrels? And he's like, yeah. So 3 of the barrels were black. So it's awesome. So I got 2 of them in there. I can't get the bung out of 2 of them because I don't have the bung wrench or whatever. So, but I got 2 of them filled up, and it's going to be 50 tomorrow, which means it'll probably be about almost 90 in the greenhouse. So those things will fully, what's really neat, if any of y'all have a greenhouse, and I didn't know this, and David the Good explained it, that the heat sinks don't just keep the greenhouse warm as they expel heat at night, but they're a heat sink during the day when the greenhouse is extravagantly hot, and they'll pull heat from the air. So they kind of regulate the temperature too. That is pretty cool, man.
That's really
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Especially down here because the greenhouse gets blasting hot sometimes. You just got to open it up. So Lone Star's on.
Jonathan, how's the sheeps, man? I gotta come check your place out, dude. You're not even that far from us. And I gotta come check out and we have how far are you from DCAB? Delicious. Yes. I don't know how close you are to DCAB. But Yeah, I got new best friends in DeKalb. So the permaculture consultant, he's up in DeKalb. So yeah, that's what I thought. Cool, man. Sweet. Yeah. We're going to make do that. I'm going to come up and check out your digs.
Yeah. So.
We could collaborate, man. You could give me some traction on your channel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's made a video in a while. But
we do have some Longhorn, Jonathan, some nice mama Longhorns.
He's got sheep. He ain't going to mess with no cows.
That are pregnant. We could give them to you at a really great price. We got to switch over. So, yeah,
I was talking to the barrel guy today. He was trying to talk me to Charlai's. He's a long-time cow guy.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. He just sold sold 65. He just sold all his cows.
Oh, wow.
And he made a killing because he sold them at the sale barn. And if you have a premium cows, they're going for a premium price. So, yeah. But, yeah, he's the guy at the sale barn said, "Oh, are you going to sell them?" He's like, "Are you going to use me to sell them?" He's like, "I'll come pick them up." And the sale barn picked them up for free.
Wow.
Yeah, and he got a great price.
Huh.
But all his cows,
I don't want Charlai's
1,400 plus. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. We've had some experience with Charlai.
Hey, Pete.
Cows.
Yeah.
And
Walter.
we don't want things that we're going to get hurt with.
Walter.
We're just,
I'll never forget you, Walter.
I don't want the boys getting hurt, and I don't think
Jimmy's watching, but I remember Walter.
And I don't want us getting hurt trying to manage. I wanted to plug
Walter.
Plus, if we do go over to the ranch or if we bring cows over here, I have little kids and stuff. I just want stuff that's manageable size and just really, really docile. It's just worth it.
Face drink is dark chocolate and water.
It's just cacao powder. It's nothing fancy. It's cacao powder and it was hot water.
Agape, whose greenhouse do you have? Is it
Walter?
Yeah, Walter was a Charlai bull that fancied our herd, and he would walk through my fence like it didn't exist.
He would walk through,
blow it
5 strands of barbed wire like
blow
nothing.
It up.
Yeah,
like demolish it, like rip T-posts out of the ground, like blow up the barbed wire, like it wasn't there.
And he tried to breed with our little Jersey cow at the time. And she was full size, but Jerseys are small compared to Charlai. And I thought he was either going to break her back or she was going to get pregnant with one of his babies and die trying to give birth. Yeah, that was a big problem.
Walter.
No Charlai's for us.
I want to club you, Walter. I want to buy a Charlai just to club it. No.
No.
All right, y'all. Well, it's been great hanging out with y'all. It's always fun and exciting.
Yeah, that's all the updates.
Great hearing about y'all's adventures. Bulls are amazing. And we'll be on a lot now. Hopefully, we'll be on more now that the internet works, and the boys have been contracting quite a bit of work, so they're going to be very busy. Probably for the next month, they have several large jobs, and which is really great for them cash flow wise. And keep your orders coming in because we're pretty much up to date. We got them all cranked out. Food Farce in a box is still available. So check it out. And we'll see y'all in the next video.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.